Good morning, students. Today we are here to discuss chapter from your moral science book, Sacrifice, lesson number 9. So, students, first we will discuss what is the meaning of sacrifice and how is it important and what does it matters. Okay? So, sacrifice means to give up something valued for the sake of others. When we sacrifice, when we give up our valuable things or our valuable valued means important things for the sake of others, we just give it away. We do not consider it valuable when for the sake of others, when it is for others benefit, we give up our things, then it is called sacrifice. Okay, so uh, students, do you know it is a very good practice, and in so that others can be benefited, and it needs a lot of courage to sacrifice our valuable things. It needs a lot of courage, like a candle. In the picture over here you can see a candle which is lighting. Okay, so it sacrifices itself drop by drop so that it can give us light. Okay, if a candle refuses to sacrifice itself, so from where will we get light? We cannot get light, we are not able to see. So a candle sacrifices itself to give us light. Then we can see in the picture a tree. Now this tree sacrifices its branches, its fruits, its flowers. We pluck the flowers in order to decorate our things, or for the decoration purpose we take out the fruits to uh, feed ourselves. Then we take off the branches to fulfill our daily basic needs. Okay, so a tree also sacrifices itself. Then a river sacrifices its river, we use the water of the river. So this is nature. Okay, nature sacrifices for us so many things. Okay, it sacrifices itself so that we can remain in benefit. Okay, so that we remain in benefit, it sacrifices ourselves. So it takes a lot of courage to sacrifice for others. So now today we will read a story related to sacrifice. Okay, now let's move forward. See, it is written, a mother can only define the real meaning of sacrifice who does sacrifice all her dreams and happiness for her child. Okay, so one of the best example of sacrifice is your mother. She sacrifices her valued dreams, her happiness, and everything for you, because she wants you to remain happy. She wants you to be happy and cheerful and fulfilled every time. Okay, so the sacrifice of a mother is very great. It is much more. Okay, so a mother can only define the real meaning of sacrifice because she sacrifices her everything for her child, for her family. Now let's see sacrifice. It is written, to sacrifice is to give something less worthy for something more valuable. Okay, to give up something less worthy. Worthy means having great merit or deserving. Okay, so uh, to sacrifice our important things for more valuable things is known as sacrifice. Okay, to give up. Now, to sacrifice, one needs to forget oneself and be detached. The candle sacrifices itself drop by drop in order to give its light. So, just now I have given you example that a candle sacrifices itself drop by drop so that we receive light. Now there is a short story about a sacrifice. Okay, let's read it. Now there was a person whose name was Ford, F-O-A-D, Ford. Okay, there was a person whose name was Ford, and he was a boxer from Sri Lanka. He was a boxer from Sri Lanka, and he had gone to India in search of work. He came to India in search of work, but he soon got cholera. Now, what is cholera? Cholera is a disease, okay? It is a bacterial disease causing severe diarrhea or dehydration, and it usually spreads in water. So, he was a boxer, and when he came to India in search of job, he got cholera, and cholera is a disease, okay? So, he said, "Oh Allah, please help me. I cannot eat anything. I am vomiting and have diarrhea. I am so weak. I am going to die." Now, this person was very worried. He became worried because he has left his family in Sri Lanka and he came to India in search of job. Now he has got such a heavy disease, and he thinks that now there is no one to care for me, and I'll not be able to become well, and I will now die. So what will happen to my family? He is thinking all these things in himself. Now, penniless. Now, even my wife and children will not know what happened to me. Penniless in a foreign land, sick and about to die, he felt all was lost and laid in the bed waiting for death to come. Now he is thinking that my wife is there, my children are there. How they would know that if anything will happen to me? How will they come to know about me? Where am I staying? How will they know? So now he was very worried. He was thinking about his family. Now, penniless means not having no money. Penniless means having no money, and foreign means strange or unfamiliar, strange land. Okay, in India where you live is familiar to you. Okay, you know this land, you know about India, but when you go out of India, or say just now you are living in Patna, and if you have never gone to any other place in India itself, so when you go out it is not familiar with you. Okay, so this man came from Sri Lanka to India, so it was a foreign land. India was a foreign land to this stranger. It was a strange land. He was not familiar with things around here. So in a foreign land he was having no money, and he was on his bed waiting to die, waiting for death to come to him. So he was very worried and upset. Soon he decided to do an experiment. He picked up the phone and just dialed a number. Now an idea came to his mind. He decided to do an experiment. Okay, now he picked up the phone and called a number. It was a random number. He called a number and he said, "Hello, I am Ford from Sri Lanka. I have cholera. I have no money. Can you please help me?" Now he called a random number and he said that he introduced himself that my name is Ford, I am from Sri Lanka, and he also told that he has got a disease named cholera and he has no money. He explained everything about himself, and he also at last he asked for help. Then from the other side the person said, "My name is Arun. Where do you stay?" Now he said that that person asked him that, "Where do you stay? Where are you staying?" He first introduced himself that he is Arun, and then he asked, "Where do you stay?" Now the Ford said that in Moonlight Inn, room number 10. Okay, so Moonlight Inn, in Moonlight Inn he was staying, in Moonlight Inn. Now what do you mean by inn? I-double-N, inn. Inn is a house providing accommodation, food and drink, especially for travelers. Those who travel, they need a place to live in. Okay, they cannot live on road, so they need a proper place to live. Okay, they need food and drink. So inn is a type of house which provides accommodation, food and drink for travelers. Okay, so he told that I am in Moonlight Inn. The name of the inn or say hotel was Moonlight. Okay, Moonlight Inn. And he also told the room number. It was room number 10. Arun paid all Ford's unpaid bills and helped him to a taxi and took him home. Now, what did Arun do? He paid all his unpaid bills, all those unpaid bills Arun paid, and then took Ford to his house in a taxi. Now, let's see what happened later. Arun's wife Lakshmi was worried. Now, this is Arun's wife. Now, she was worried. She told, we have brought a man to our house with a deadly disease. What if our 5 young children contract the disease? What if he dies in our house? Now, Arun's wife was very worried. She was very upset. She said that you have brought a stranger in our house, and that too he is having a deadly disease. Deadly means causing or able to cause death, which can even cause death, which is so dangerous that it can cause death. So she said that he is having a deadly disease, and what if our 5 children get contracted with the disease? If they get in touch with this disease, what will happen? And what if he will die in our house? People will think that we have done something wrong with him. So Arun said, well, we just have to be extra careful with hygiene and do our best to save his life. He told Lakshmi that we don't have to worry that much, we just have to be extra careful, so extra attentive and maintain hygiene. Okay, and maintain hygiene. Hygiene is a serious practice performed to preserve health. Okay, to remain clean, every time you have to remain clean, keep your surroundings clean. So he said that we just need to do this much, we just need to be extra careful and maintain the hygiene, and then we will do our best to save this man's life, because he is from another place, he has no one over here in this country who will help him. So he decided to help him. So Lakshmi took Arun's advice to heart. She would each day change his bed sheets and disinfect them and his utensils after washing them. She cleaned his room with water and soap and Dettol. She cooked soup for him. She did not rest and worked hard in tending to the sick man. Now, this Lakshmi, who was Arun's wife, she took it very seriously. She took the advice of Arun very seriously, and she said she started taking care. She started maintaining all the hygiene. She every day used to change the bed sheet of this person. Then she used to disinfect them. Okay, and she used to perform all the hygienic work. Then she used to clean his room with soap, water and Dettol. So she maintained everything, she maintained all the advices, she maintained all the hygiene, and she took care of this person. Okay, so that this person could get well soon. After that, what happened? Arun brought a doctor to the house who prescribed for Ford. Gradually, with Arun and Lakshmi's care, Ford's condition improved. Now, Arun brought a doctor for Ford so that he can look after him, he can give him medicines to become well soon. So, a doctor also prescribed, he gave some medicines to Ford, and so that Ford can recover soon. After a month, he was well enough to return to Sri Lanka. Now, after taking care for 1 month, this Ford was able to walk. He was able to he became a normal, and he became well. He was now able to return to his home. So Arun, not being wealthy, had to borrow money in order to pay the Ford's air ticket. Ford left in tears. Now, and how will Ford go? He needs money to go. So Arun was not that rich. Okay, he was not that wealthy. Wealthy means rich. Okay, so he was not that rich that he can give away money to Arun for Ford's air ticket. So he borrowed money from another person, and so by for after seeing these things, Ford was left in tears. Ford started crying. You have saved my life. If not for your sacrificial kindness, I would have died. I can never thank you adequately. You are true human beings. You have taught me a great lesson that will stay with me for life. I will try to pay you back what I owe you as soon as I can. So he now this Ford started thanking Ford for saving his life, for sacrificing all the things. Even if Arun was not rich, he gave him money to go back to home. So he said that I'll never forget all these things. I will always remember this, and one day I will pay you back. Owe you back means to have responsibility to pay or give back something that which you have received from someone else. So he said that I'll return all your money which you have borrowed for me. uh, then Arun said, we are happy you are well enough to return to your family. Keep well. Now Arun wished Ford well, and he prayed that he may return to his home soon and he may remain well. Now, few years later, Ford visited Arun's family and brought along many gifts for them. Now, Ford came back after few years to Arun's family in India, and he brought many gifts and presents for them. He said, I found a good job in Dubai, and by the grace of Allah, I am prosperous enough to pay back my dues. I never forgot your kindness. Please accept these humble gifts, and my wife and children too send their gratitude to you. Please accept this money to cover the cost of the airfare and the hotel bills. Now, Ford said he returned to India. He said to Arun that he has found a good job in Dubai, and he was prosperous enough. Prosperous means successful enough to pay back all his dues, all the money which was on his, which was a due on him. So he is now able to pay all those back. So he was very thankful for the kindness which Arun showed to him, and he also said that his wife and his children also have send their gratitude towards them. Gratitude is the quality of being thankful. Okay, so they were thankful to Arun. His wife and his children were thankful to Arun for saving Ford's life, so they also sent their gratitude. So Ford asked Arun to accept the money which he has taken from others in order to pay his fare. So, well, this was not expected. Now, Arun said that this was not expected at all, but by coming back, you proved to be an honest and noble man. Now, Arun said that I did not expect you to come back to India again, but you proved yourself that you are an honest and noble man. You are a kind man. You are honest also, that you came back to pay back your dues, and it was very kind of you to come back to India. So I did not expected this, but I am very happy that you came back to India to meet us. So this was a story about this was a story about sacrifice which Arun and his family made for to save Ford's life. Okay, so it's very important, students. Sometimes we need to sacrifice our good things, our most valuable things for others, so that they can remain quite happily. Okay, like our mothers do. Our mothers do sacrifice their most important things for us. Now, they had a simple meal together and Ford returned to home. Okay, so after having a meal with Arun, Ford returned to his house, that is Sri Lanka. Ford returned to Sri Lanka after having a simple meal with Arun and his family. So this was about the sacrifice which Arun made. Now students, you have to color this picture on in your book on page number 47. Now, let's see some questions. Now, students, let's see some questions related to this chapter. It is saying, choose the right answer. Number 1 is, who was Ford? Option A friend of Arun. Option B, a boxer from Sri Lanka looking for a job in India. Now, who was Ford? He was a boxer from Sri Lanka looking for a job in India. So, you will take number B. Question number 2 is, what did Arun do when Ford called him? Now, when Ford was upset, thinking about his family members, his children, okay, so he called a random number and it was Arun. So, what did Arun do? Number 1, option A is, he scolded Ford for calling him. Option B, he took him to the house and paid his bills. So, option B is correct option. You will take option number B because Arun went to Ford, he paid all his bills and then he took him to his house in a taxi and took care of Ford. Question number 3 is, what did Lakshmi sacrifice in looking after the sick? Option number A, she sacrificed her children. Option number B, she sacrificed her rest and comfort. Lakshmi took Arun's advice seriously and she sacrificed her rest and comfort, and she used to change the bed sheets every day. She used to disinfect them. She used to wash his room with soap and water and Dettol. So she sacrificed her rest and comfort. So option number B is the correct answer. Now question number 4. How did Ford show his gratitude? How did Ford show his gratitude? Option A, he never contacted Arun again. Option B, he paid back all his dues as soon as he could. Option B is correct answer because after he was a successful man, he was having enough money so that he can return all his dues. He came back to Arun in India and gave him gifts and paid back his dues and had a lunch with him also. So, this was the question. Now, here it is, memories. Love gives life to the lifeless. Now, it is saying that when you love even a lifeless thing, okay, lifeless it is trying to say that even if you love those person, if you give love to all those person who do not have a feeling of love or do not or who are not polite, they also feel that love when you love them in a proper way, when you give your attention to them, when you give your care to them. Okay, so love gives life to the lifeless also. Now, next is copy these sentences. Choose for others that which you choose for yourself. Now, you have to copy this line over here. It is saying that choose for others that which you choose for yourself means you should always think before choosing anything wrong for others or before doing anything wrong with others. You should first think that if this thing will be done to me by others, how will I feel? Will it be good for me or will it be bad for me? If it's good for me, then it's okay, you can do. But if it's bad for you, if you think that no, if this will be done by somebody else to me, I'll not feel good, then you should never do it with others also. So you should always choose only those things for others which you choose for yourself. Now, number 2 is be kind not only to your family but to all who cross your path. You should be, this is a normal thing, you should be kind towards everyone, to either your family members or anyone, any stranger also. Okay, any stranger also, you should always behave properly and you should always talk politely to them. You should be kind towards everyone, even if it is an animal, you should be kind towards them also. Now students, here it is written, name 3 persons you have sacrificed for you, who have sacrificed for you. Now first of all, you can write your mother. So you can write mother, M-O-T-H-E-R, mother. Then you can write father, F-A-T-H-E-R, father. Your father also sacrifices a lot for you. Okay. Then you can write about anyone who has sacrificed for you, like friends. Sometimes your friend also sacrifices for you. So you can write F-R-I-E-N-D, friend. Okay. You can write the name. Now, next question is, name 1 person for whom you have sacrificed. Now here you have to write that person's name for whom you have sacrificed. Till now you have written 3 persons' name who have sacrificed for you. Now it is your turn. Now you have to write that person's name for whom you have sacrificed. You have given your valuable thing or important thing. So it can be either your friend, your mother, your family members. So anyone's name you can write, either your mother you can write, okay, or your father or your friend. So you have to write anyone's name for whom you have really sacrificed your valuable thing, most valuable thing. Okay. Now students, let's do some questions. Ford was a boxer from Sri Lanka. S-R-I-L-A-N-K-A, Sri Lanka. He was a boxer from Sri Lanka. Dash decided to do an experiment. Who decided to do an experiment? Ford. F-O-A-D. Ford decided to do an experiment. Question number 3. Ford found a good job in Dash. Where did he find a good job? Dubai. D-U-B-A-I. Dubai. Now question number 4. Arun saved life of whose? Whose life Arun saved? Ford. F-O-A-D. Ford. Few years later, Ford visited Dash family. Now, to express his gratitude, Ford visited Arun's family. A-R-U-N-S-T-O-P-S. Arun's family. Now, let's see question number 6. Ford said, I never forgot your what? What did he did what he did not forget? Kindness. Kindness of Arun. K-I-N-D-N-E-S-S. Kindness. Number 7 is, Arun's wife cleaned his room with water, soap, S-O-A-P, soap, and Dettol, D-E-T-T-O-L, Dettol. Okay, number 8 is, Dash is like a father, good, kind, and true. Now, God, okay, God is like a father. He is good, he is kind, and he is true to us. He is always helpful to us. He always helps us. Number 9, Arun paid all Ford's unpaid bills. U-N-P-A-I-D, unpaid bills. Number 10 is, Lakshmi was dash about her children. Lakshmi was worried. W-O-R-R-I-E-D. Worried. When Arun brought a person, a stranger who was having a cholera, Lakshmi was little bit worried about her children. Number 11, Ford was an honest man. H-O-N-E-S-T, honest and noble man. He was honest as well as kind man also. So students, today we have discussed chapter Sacrifice from your moral science book. We have also seen few questions related to it from the book, and we have also done filling the blanks today. Hope you have understood the importance of sacrifice and the meaning of sacrifice, and how do your family members sacrifice their most valuable things for you. So hope it was interesting learning today. Thank you and have a good day. Bye bye.